up late, charts on fire, red and green like a funeral pyre. Discord screaming LFG, but my portfolio's haunting me. Spiked my coffee with regret. Last night I longed to break out bet. Now I'm broke, not broken yet. Just one more pump, I won't forget. Buy high, die huddling. The 10 brain dopamine's controlling. Ride the whale or get wrecked clean. This crypto dream's a guillotine. Fake guru with 1,000 subs showed me coins in shady clubs. Promised moons, Lambos and jets. Now I'm left with JPEGs and debts. Scalped my soul in a 5-minute chart. Market dumped and it ripped my heart. But I'll reload, I'll play to win. Even if I lose it all again. Buy high, die huddling. Gas fees burn, but I keep rolling. Almost gone, greed's the king. This crypto dream's a punk rock thing. With the crack in the glass, risk it all, no brakes, full gas. Liquidation, call me sweet. Whisper welcome to defeat. No stop loss, no regrets. Code and chaos, no safety nets. Satoshi's ghost in my DMs told me to ape again and again. Buy high, die huddling. Gas fees burn, but I keep rolling. If I crash, at least I tried. In this wild west of blockchain rights. I'll be trading till the lights go out. Shots of noise, but I live for the sound. One candle spike, and I'm back in town. Crypto's a fight, and I'm 10 toes down. Diamond hands with the crack in the glass. Risk it all, no brakes, full gas. But I'll reload, I play to win. Even if I lose it all again.
What's up, guys? How's it going? All right. Oh, we took a short today, and we're still in it. We're now currently at an area of concern that could, result in a turnaround. If we're going to get one, this is a good spot where it could happen. Let's go through the trade itself, explain why we jumped in on the short, and where we're targeting and why. But yeah, so zoom out here on the, let's go to the hourly. So we see in the past we had, we have a supply zone up here. We got a value area high here. We have a previous value area low here. That's about 97 days old. So we have lots of confluence to hit our head here. We were planning on preparing for this short since yesterday. We had like a confluence zone here. Yeah, basically we marked up the two possible locations where we could prepare for a good long or a short position, and we came up here first. There was a couple of trades in between that. Let's see if we zoom in. Like once we got to that confluence zone, then it's just about waiting for the reaction, right? I was watching the 3-minute time frame and saw we went bearish. We flipped bearish when we came up and hit our head off of our zone. You got just barely met the standards, for flipping bearish. We had to change of character. But yeah, we thought that we could retrace, and the stop loss suggestion was pretty far up there. Considering where we were targeting with the barriers in mind, we wanted to make sure that you get better risk to reward ratio. So I waited to see if we got the pullback. We got the pullback towards our golden pocket 786 zone. And then when you zoom in and dissect the story a bit, we got the rejection in the form of a 1-minute bearish change of character right here. So that's when I entered the short. We gave the signal, of course, to jump in on the short as well. Yeah, there's the trade plan here. And then, oop, my bad. Whoops. Yeah, there's a trade plan here. And then down here, this is where we executed it, gave the short signal. Well, I told people to jump in short before I gave the picture, of course. But yeah, now we're at our first concern where we have the VWAP. We have the previous valley area high right here that could act as support as well. We got a pullback already on the 1 minute. So if we get that lower low, test the VWAP, and then break with the higher high, or break the strong high, sorry, then we'll have an opposing bullish change of character. And when you have a reaction like that, you should prepare and potentially take some off the table. So hopefully we don't flip bullish here. I'm actually hopeful that we get acceptance inside of this valley area here, so we can have that rotation to the opposite side of the valley area, to the valley area low. We have a point of control at the POC. Sorry, at the POC we have an order block, really small one, but we should watch that confluence as well along the way down. The point of control is always a barrier you should always be watching for when you're taking a trade setup, either at the top or bottom of a valley area, because it's your primary barriers where most of the interest lies and within the range. So when we come down there, or if we come down there, that's going to be our next barrier of concern. Because right now, like, the VWAP is kind of pretty much in line with that valley area high. So if we break below the VWAP, we're just very likely just going to go straight to the point of control. And then from there, we'll watch the valley area low in hopes that we come down to our basically where all the liquidity is resting right now from this range, and just come after that liquidity and target around like 90,000. If we don't get all the way down there and we're forced out with some profit, small profits, then so be it. But that's kind of the objective. Right now, we're at the bottom of the 15-minute orb, which is the first 15-minute candle print of the New York session. It helps give you a guide of where support and resistance is, how algorithmic market makers are performing or programmed during that day. And we just hit our head off of it as resistance. We're getting that break of structure. So when we hit that VWAP, this is going to be the moment where we find out if it's going to give us the answer of breaking this high and getting that bullish change of character. Right now, looking good. We'll see what happens here. We do have a giveaway today too, guys. We're giving away a $6,000 account from Klein Funding. We still have our Black Friday deal going on for 50% off for life. Like, the discount will stick on your account forever. That goes on until December 1st. Let's see. We're breaking through that VWAP. Let's see if we close below it. We got 18 seconds left. The last thing we'd want is this to become a giant buy shadow wick. Might be better to send this long position tool backwards. Oops. I'm clumsy today, man. There. Sometimes it's better just to put your long position tool backwards so you can see your candles a lot more clearly. All right, now we close below the VWAP. We close below the valley area high. So if we get the bounce here at the point of control, we can now use the VWAP and the valley area high as resistance for proper acceptance into the valley area. Or we can go straight to our target. That'll be fine too. Let's see. Looking good. Let's see if we get right below this point of control. That'd be great. This is our main barrier right now. It's this point of control. All right, we're just closed barely above it. Or basically on it. Nice. Okay. Pretty emotionless trade so far. My emotions come in when I see like the opposing change of character. And depending on where it is, it's really important, right? If it happened like right here, I would definitely be taking some off the table. Because like that bullish change of character would have came with confluence of the bounce of the off the VWAP, basically the value area high, and acceptance back inside the orb. So like those three forms of confluence would have told you, like, at least take half off the table or something. It could be a good time to move our stop loss, actually. Because right now, I still have my stop loss above the 3-minute strong high up here. And feel comfortable having it like right off the 1-minute strong high. So just use the external price action is usually stronger than the internal stuff. So I keep clicking on the wrong anchor point. And all right, we close below the point of control. This trade's looking great. So our momentum is pretty broad right now. What do we have in the chat here, guys? Got Freebreaker, Noah. Good morning, man. Sterling, how you doing, Sterling? Coma, Manny Boy. Yeah, Manny jumped in on the short the exact moment I gave the signal. Starting to have someone that thinks like me in the Discord. Could be dangerous. We got Offshore Miner. What's up? Remus. Trip, how you doing, man? Blue Star Effect. What's the current stop loss on the short? It is at 93,100. Like right above this wick. You could give it more breathing room if you wanted to. The more breathing room, the less your margins put to work, but the extra, safety that you'll have. Let's switch back to the 3-minute. See how the 3-minute candles have printed so far. A proper pullback here. Break a structure. Yeah, this is a good time to move our stop loss to break even, at least there, guys. Stop loss. We got the 3-minute strong, the internal strong high here. So I just recommend having your stop loss guard, behind the VWAP, behind that pullback high. And there's also a 3-minute orb block here, and the floor of the 15-minute orb is there. So you have like 4 barriers. Having your stop loss just above this high right here. And it's in the profit zone, so you can't lose money. Let's see. Let me just make sure I notify the community, and I gotta adjust it on my blowfin here quick. Okay, the stop loss is now at, looking at 92,118. I'll get a little extra breathing room, make it easier for people to, like $2. Man, it just keeps falling down. Got a doji reaction, getting the impulse move after the doji. Could create an order block right at the point of control. Okay, we got it here. I gotta post for 3 communities here. Okay. All right, sorry about that, guys. Just want to make sure I notified everyone that might not be in the live. And I gotta actually adjust the stop loss myself on Blowfin here. There we go. And we're at our 1 to 2-ish area. And then we can start looking at any requests you guys have. Yeah, we're at our 1 to 2 right now. So it's up to you whether or not you want to close. Just capture the gains. I'm going to close 50%. There we go. All right, taking it off right now. Okay. All right, cool. All right, sorry guys, the timing was kind of weird. It jumped into a trade like as soon as the live pretty much started. That's why the live started like 10 minutes late too. Okay, so yeah, close 50% at the value area low. So, and the profit, I mean, my stop loss is in the profit zone. So now it's just about, you know, hoping for the continuation for the rest of the position, or seeing an opposing, you know, bullish change of character warning sign telling me I should close the rest of the trade that way. Yeah, look good. Now, what do we have in the chat here? Do we have any requests for any assets you guys want to look at? We got, you closed at a 1 to 4. Good job. So your stop loss must have been right above the 1 minute high then. So I had a 1 to 2 on my 50% close. Okay, yeah, giveaway day. Cass finally ripped off a bit of the bottom, bought a good bag on the lows. Nice, good job. We got another member, yeah, another guy here. Ken also got a little bit of Cass. Broke VWAP on BitGet, yeah. That Black Friday deal is tempting, yeah, man. Do you think it can go straight through 90K? No, probably not. We got a demand zone down here. We have the previous value area low. So right now, yes, we have like this internal value area right here. But if we look at the past, we have a value area here to here. And the moment that we got acceptance into this value area right here, we could have started to target the value area high up here. Same reason why you could do the same within here, right? When we have, you know, a break of momentum, bullish change of character, target the value area high, bearish change of character, target the value area low, bullish change of character, target the value area high. Just wait for the momentum breaks unless you want to try to front run it and watch the momentum potentially acting as resistance or could come against you. But yeah, same story, but bigger picture. Rather than this small valley area here that we were trading on, we have this more macro previous one that we got our reaction off of right here. So you can use historical valley area data, or you can use active valley area data to prepare for trade setups or prepare for range bound behavior. Like once you get acceptance to an old range, we're actually very likely to behave the same way we did the last time we were in that range. And if we zoom out, let's go to the hourly for this. We zoom out here. This is the previous valley area. Sorry, everything's a little bit slow today. Where we hit our head here last time and came down to the valley area low. We ping ponged here for about, the valley area is about 2 days. So we might only be here for a couple of days if we behave the same way. And maybe that is a strong pullback, but so far we've been in here for about a day and 19 hours. I'm hopeful that this leads to like a bullish change of character on the 4-hour time frame, because we haven't really got that yet. I don't believe we're kind of there now, right? Okay, so right now we're on the 4-hour. Yeah, so we need to have a close above this high up here, and instead we kind of swept it during our bearish reaction at the value high. So maybe we'll stack more liquidity above us and build a massive inverse head and shoulders, this being the right shoulder. We'll see what happens. But yeah, what we really want to see is that 4-hour change of character so we can start thinking more bullish in the macro. I believe our 6 hours in the same level. Get rid of some of this noise here. I scribble drawn. Okay. Well, we're testing the POC right now. We just mitigated a order block that we created on the 5-minute time frame right here. Let's see if we get above this. We could use the VWAP as resistance and keep us down, or hopefully we have the point of control keep us down too. But I'm hoping at least that we get the lower low. If we get that lower low taken, then our 3-minute structure will evolve, and then we'll have this as our strong high that we can watch for our change character break to kind of like warn us to get out. And if we get that lower low, we could be more aggressive with our stop loss and move it right above that newly formed strong high. So yeah, what happens here is actually kind of important. So hopefully we get that lower low. Kyle, you can use the same word for the giveaway as always. Yeah, I might as well just keep doing the same word. It's a lot easier. People remember it. We're just going to use the word giveaway when the time... We can do it now, guys, if you like. Do the giveaway for the account. Let me just log in really quick to the giveaway system. It's right here. You guys are... I know I have some people asking me about my mining. We can go over that while I'm logging in, because it's been doing pretty good so far. And I've been mining mostly Litecoin and Dogecoin because they're really, really cost efficient. And I started it like last month, late last month. And I got 7 miners activated, working on getting 10 activated. go. And gotten to about probably close to 1,600 now. Yes, yeah, 1,678. Created a total of like 2.63 Litecoin and 9,500 Dogecoin. I'm preparing to sell these around 20 cents and then recycle the USDT into a futures trading account. Basically like an income funnel. Okay. Just pulling up giveaway system here. Okay, and grabbing the video ID. There it is. That's a weird one. Reset. I gotta log out and log back in again. It's being weird to me. Okay, and then YouTube Live. Control C. Okay, all right, guys. I got the giveaway system all set up. So all you guys got to do on your side is just write the word giveaway. Yep, we got Coma in Remus, Maria, Belkin. What's up, man? All right, and we got Wayne, Mac, Blue Star Effect, Mandy Boy, Steve, Colin Crypto, Pluff, Teddy, how you doing, man? Con, Freebreaker, Ghost Hunter, Jeff, Maria, Spooky Pilot, Enter, nice. Okay. I'll give it another like 10 seconds and then I'm gonna start doing the draw. Doggy dog, man. Doggy dog, you gotta put the words together, man. It's all one word. It's not case sensitive or anything like that, but it's all one word. So just make sure you write it properly there so you can get entered in. Alright, we get the rejection off the point control. Just need to get that lower low. Our close below the wick. That's basically what we need. If we have a sweep of the wick, it still involves our strong high. So either or, this will become a key level to watch out for. There you go, man. That's right. You got it in there. Okay. All right, I'm going to the draw page now here, guys. I think I'll pull it up on screen. All right, this month, yeah, so we're going to do our $6,000 account from Klein Funding. It's a prop fund account, so You'll have rules that you'll need to follow, but if you have any questions about it, you can reach out to me at any point and I can help you out. But yeah, basically $6,000 account. I recommend taking the profits that you earn from it and then put it towards your own futures trading account under like exchange like Blowfin or anything like that. So you can just like kind of use their money to help fund yourself as a trader and use that income funnel to kind of grow. But yeah, you don't need to rush into it as soon as you win the account though either, right? So once you get the account, take your time with it, especially if you're not a profitable trader just yet. If you're a member of the course, like member of the community, just take the course and you'll find it to be a lot easier to use those accounts to stay profitable. So I'm going to click on pick a winner, see what we get. We got EDIPZZ. Who is that? It's a member. I don't recognize the name. Let's check here. Well, congrats. That's awesome. Let's see. Maybe your handle is weird. This is what we're seeing right now. EDIP. Oh, you're online right now. Okay, cool. Well, congratulations. I'm going to screenshot this. Make sure I'll do a post and the announcement saying that you won and then how to reach out to me and all that fun stuff. Okay. Let's get the... There, that's saved. All right. Close. Let's go back to Bitcoin because I just saw it break above the point of control here. Create a order block. Congratulations to the winner. Again, yeah, you'll see in the announcements feed in the Discord that you won and the steps that you'll need to take. Just basically just reach out to me in the Discord and I'll get you all set up. Pretty cool. You're on the Fanova side. Am I still able to claim the prize? So the Fanova side doesn't have like the extra ballots or anything like that. They don't have a system built into their membership feed. But anyone who comments on the YouTube stuff they'll always get a ticket entry as well. So either you're on the Fanova side or the investor side, you'll be able to win. Yeah, I agree with you, Pluff. Okay. So this is looking like we'll see how we respond to the test of this order block and the point of control here. Hopefully this doesn't lead to an awkward regression trend towards our stop loss here. But we do have the VWAP guard, we have the value area high guard, we have the orb on our side, and we have this strong high here protecting us. And we also have a 5-minute order block here too. So lots of things that could keep us from going any higher, at least beyond this point. Lots of confluence stacked right here. Okay, and our next trade setup is going to be likely a long, depending on where we get, where we are. But it's likely going to be, at or below this valley area low. Preferably below it. At the previous valley area low at 89.7, we have this demand zone here. We got an order block here. So lots of reason to get a good strong bounce around this area. But along the way up, we'll have to watch, this internal valley area potentially acting as resistance at like 90,800 or 90,900, sorry. So we could see something like this, like hit our head off of this and then come down lower. We got pretty broad momentum. So based on the momentum, it suggests that it could take roughly about 4 hours to get down there. Okay. Now, which assets do you guys want to look at together? Aloha. Nice call this morning. Yeah. Hey, Cal, totally unrelated question. Is there a updated version of your journal, especially the rules section, or that not have an updated version of the journal? No, it depends on which one you're talking about. We have a Notion journal, and we have a Google Excel sheet one. You want like the rule part inside the journal part to be updated to be a little more clear? Because I can do that. You still in the short from earlier? Yes, but we took right about here. We took half out when we tested that value area low. So we're 50% out of the position. Our stop loss is in the profit zone. So we can't lose money, but we're aiming to see if that remaining 50% of our position could increase our net R&R a little higher. So we do have some barriers in our face, even though we do have that decent bounce here. Yeah, we have lots of reason to continue to go down still. I was watching the backtesting video where you share a journal and sheets. Oh, cool. Okay, so I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I can update that so that the rules are a little more clear. It's all included in the course as well, like step-by-step rule format, like learn one rule at a time, learn how each of those indicators work at a time, and then you kind of put it all together as one piece. But yeah, but the rules are pretty simple. Once you understand market structure and once you understand value areas, then the rules are simple. Basically, yeah, you want to have a loss of the uptrending momentum, a bearish change of character, target the opposite side of the value area, right? Or the bullish change of character at the value area low, like this trade setup, for example, target the value area high, or where liquidity is resting, you could go a little bit beyond that, like we were targeting in this scenario. It's a little bit higher, but you could have gotten that reaction right here and just gotten, you could have gotten out right at the value area high. Kind of like how I just closed 50% right at the value area low, like expecting a kind of a bullish reaction, because like we don't really know technically like if we're going to get that rotation right back up or not. But luckily we have barriers on our side that can guide us into knowing like we should accept the smaller gain instead of trying to go for the bigger gain down here. But so far it's looking great. Let's see. AK VWAP slap. Yeah. Would you add anywhere 92,600? Well, add to the short? Not this short. No. Because if I closed half, so when you add to your existing position, you normally want to add an equal weighted value to your short, or a calculated value, so that your average is still protected by barriers, right? If I were to add to my short, like I would want to see a loss of this whole value area right here. So I would need to see a break below like 89,000 or 90,000, have it act as resistance, and then the lower low. And then during a moment like that, I would add to this short. But it would adjust my average from here to roughly around here. So yeah, you gotta be careful adding to winning positions, but that's the best time. That's the best kind of position to add to, of course, is the winning positions. But you gotta have like another, like what I usually teach is you should have a new reason to enter a new trade if you're gonna add to an existing trade. And kind of just, use your new average as an advantage by having your stop loss immediately start in the profit zone. So you need some distance before you add to your trade. And of course, there's thousands of variables, but that's my advice, my non-financial advice. Okay, so we want to look at CAS, ENA, and Solana. So let's take a peek at CAS first, because we just had some people mention that they... Oh, that's Solana. They just invested in CAS. And we're seeing some bearish price action on Bitcoin. So we'll see how CAS is doing, if it has some relative strength or not. Okay, so we were last looking at CAS. We broke this downtrending momentum. We had this uptrending momentum here that evolved pretty quickly. We got above the 50-day EMA. We got above the target. So when we broke this downtrending, like this descending regression trend to the upside, the technical target was this high. I remember us talking about the barriers to the high and this being like the strongest one that I was concerned about, but we ended up breaking right through it, and we used it as support after we hit our head off of the previous value high and the 50-day EMA, consolidated and ended up breaking for our break of structure continuation. We finally lost the evolving momentum, but we still have some broad momentum here. We're testing these previous highs right now as support. And we're getting squeezed between the 50 and the 200-day EMA, which is always a big pain in the butt. Now, we hit our internal target, which was here, right? Now we have this external descending broadening wedge that, oh, it's not broadening, sorry, descending regression trend. The technical target looks like it was just hit again right here. So I'd be mindful of the fact that we have quite a bit of confidence for short if this key level breaks. Because if we break this key level here, because we got that higher high, this will become a bearish change of character on the hourly. We'd lose the 50-day EMA from that break. And that double top measurable target could bring us down to as low as, assuming we maintain the momentum. It has a target of 0.04784. Where our last area of concern is now a target for this double top. We can delete this now, though. We don't need this anymore. We luckily have a decent demand zone right below our feet here. You see we have a doji, then an impulse move up, so we can mark that as an order block. We got the previous value high here. So if we do get that bearish break, this is our first line of defense. The uptrending momentum, the previous value high, this order block on the hourly. So we have three forms of confluence right here that could induce a bounce. But we've got to watch out because it could provide a retest and bring us back down lower. But this demand zone hopefully will create a range bound floor for us to prepare for a consolidation and a continuation up. But yeah, early warning signs right now, this is a key level you kind of don't want broken. And then this is where you're hopefully will find some support. Okay. Let's go back to Bitcoin. If Bitcoin's getting that break of structure, if we get a body close below this low, it will confirm the break of structure. If we get the candle to close above this wick. Instead, we'll have a swing failure pattern. And if we have a swing failure pattern, then this is our target again. So hopefully we get the break of structure. We got a minute and 19 seconds left, so a lot could happen. And that's why patience pays. You gotta wait for the close. Isn't a swing failure pattern versus break of structure like two very different stories? Especially when you're at a key level like this, where we just mitigated some order blocks and hit the valley area low. I'm not saying it's long worthy, but at 39 seconds. Okay. 15 seconds left. What's the chat up to? Zcash. Okay. We can look at Zcash too. All right, we got the break of structure, not the SFP. So I think it's a good moment to move your stop loss to further into the profit zone. From here to either above this strong high, this newly formed strong high, or above the VWAP, so you can have the VWAP protect you as well. I'll put it right on the VWAP. In case we, come up here and sweep and come down, you don't want to get knocked out. But we're getting close to the kind of posture that we need to define an exit plan. If we have, this is a bullish change of character if we break above this. And breaking above that means getting it back above the point of control, and that could give us enough trade participants to drive the price back up. All right, so I'm adjusting my stop loss now. Okay, I've secured a 1 to 2 even after my stop loss. Even after, so after my close here, we're 50%. Yeah, secured a 1 to 2 so far. There we go. Okay, cool. Let's see if we can get down to at least the VWAP deviation next. Grabbing the liquidity from these lows. We're just taking liquidity now from this low in the form of stop losses and liquidations. Okay. All right, just going to give a post really quick, just notify people I'm moving my stop loss in case they're not on the live. And then we're going to start doing some altcoin TA. Okay. Okay. And the stop loss is at 91.717. Yeah, for anyone who's not like a member, this is what I like to do. Just make sure I keep people up to date. It's like whenever I do a change at all with my setup, I try my best to keep people informed so they can see my reasoning, understand it if they want to like, learn from that and do it themselves with their own strategy. Okay, 4-hour RSI is destroyed. Yeah. Yeah. Can we take another half here? You could take another half here. Yeah, this is so like a good rule of thumb is if you're at your 1 to 2 area or better, like because we're past our 1 to 2, you can be as aggressive as you want with your profit taking. Because you're kind of past the point in your risk to reward ratio where your gains are going to be allowed to outweigh your stop loss budget losses, right? So long as you're consistent with the amount that you're trying to lose in your trades. That's your focus point when you're entering. It's not about what you're trying to gain, it's about managing what you're going to lose. And your risk to reward ratio is a multiplier of that risk, right? So if you're risking to lose $100 on this, our ultimate goal is to try to gain, 377. If you're risking to lose 1,000, it's going to be the ultimate goal is to try to gain 3,077. But it's not really up to us of whether or not we're going to get that. It's up to the market. If the market already gave you, a 1 to 2.41, you can take it. If you want to be reactional, sometimes that will cost you profits. So being reactional in this scenario, based on our structure, the only thing that we really have for us is this level here. If that were to break, then the structure will flip bullish and it's a big warning sign to get out. You want to you want these warning signs to be much lower, obviously, so you can have better risk to reward ratio on that reaction. The purpose of being a reactional trader and reacting on your exits is to, take as much gains as you possibly can and use structure as a guide to tell you that we're going to be able to stay in this trade longer. Like this break of structure told us, right? And this break of structure told us the story that our key level has evolved. Our level that we need to watch to make sure it isn't broken to tell us to get out of the trade. It didn't evolve by much from here to here. But we could get another one, maybe another pullback. We already have a proper pullback now. So if we get a lower low again, we could evolve our key level from here to above this new high. And a break of structure also tells you a story of the momentum, the pace of the buyers. So this here was the pace of the buyers. But then when we get that follow-up break of structure, the momentum sped up, evolved. And it told us if this momentum were to be maintained and not the broad momentum, that getting to our primary target, which was down here, will come to us about 54 minutes instead of the 4-hour projection that we had before. So I'm pretty hopeful that this momentum is maintained, so we can get to our target faster. Because the faster you get to the target, less time you have to mismanage your trade. Take another half off here. Yeah. Okay. We're all cut up here. Thanks, Sterling, for the shout out there. Okay, let's look at the next setup. Next trade or next asset, sorry. ENA was a request. And then Solana. And then Zcash. ENA. We don't have a chart for ENA, but we can always pull it up through my Bitcoin layout. ENA looks like it's just as aggressive in its downtrend. This is the 3-minute time frame, so nothing crazy, but yeah, it looks like we had our bearish flip here on the 3-minute, came up, we SFP'd, hit the SFP target. Yeah, I got another change of character here with the demand zone in hopes it would hold us up. Only held us up for one test. A little bit of a bounce here, but mitigated it completely here with the break of structure continuation down, and retested that neckline at the same time, giving us the measurable target of from here to here. If the momentum was maintained, it tells us that we're coming down to 0.2789, and we've already hit that target. So we hit the double top measurable target. Let's zoom out though to tell us the full story, because all we know is the local price action from that. All right, the full story, we're top of a bigger range when we came up there. So a lot of people were already anticipating for a rejection. We have a more macro demand zone down here that we kind of got a decent bounce off of right here and started this uptrend. We could pull a fixed range volume profile on ENA. And I'm watching Bitcoin on the other monitor, by the way. So if there's anything that we have to be cautious about on Bitcoin, I'm looking at it over there. All right, so we're at the point of control. We just bounced off of an hour. We're bouncing off of an hourly order block and that point of control right here. When we had that ridiculously aggressive pump up, we created an order block from it, and we just mitigated it to right to the equilibrium point already. Now, if we close below this point of control, I think we're just going to rotate right down to the Valley area low. Our 2.5 deviation level off of the VWAP is down there as well, so we have two forms of confluences to prepare us for potential longs here again. Based on how impulsive these moves are, like how quick they are, you're going to have to use low time frames to define your entry. You won't be able to use anything like the 15-minute. I highly doubt. Let's see. Oh, you could use the 15-minute. Yeah, the 15 minutes not too bad. It would give you a later entry probably, but yeah, here we get the bearish change of character that started the range. The bullish change of character, start targeting the high. We got to it. Flip bearish right here. Aim for the Valley area low. Got an undercut reaction, double bottom. Came up, got the double top reaction that we just spoke about. And we're coming down towards that Valley area low, and we're currently at our first barrier. Or second barrier, sorry. We had this previous high here that we were watching for. You'd watch first. But yeah, ENA right now, man, I'd be preparing for potential longs, just like we should be preparing for potential longs on Bitcoin. Around 27.50 area here. If we have that bullish change of character reaction, our probability of rotating to the opposite side of the Valley area would be pretty high. So yeah, it's just about a matter of waiting for structure. Okay, let the trade come to you first, and then look for the setup. Now, what you do not want to see is this Valley area to act as resistance instead and drive us down to this demand zone. This is the demand zone. It's pretty big. There we go. Yeah, so yeah, if we come down here, this is our next little strong area of support. We have some extra layers of confluence that you could use for refinement on this for potential longs. But overall, you want the ceiling of this demand zone to be held. If we go range bound it too long, then it could result in continuations instead. We have a 15-minute order block in there too. And maybe some Fibonacci confluence from the extreme low to the high. We'll see here. Not much. The equilibrium point is here. We have a decent area of interest here, but we have quite a ways to go before we come down there. And that's where our golden pocket is. We have a demand zone here. 15-minute order block. Maybe higher. Yeah, 30-minute as well. So the way these demand zones are created on ENA, they're pretty broad, they're pretty big. It's not really an asset that I trade though. So I hope that helps you out. That's kind of what we're looking for. Bitcoin is still continuing down after our short. We're almost got the break of structure continuation on the 3 minute again. Now, because of how small this pullback is, moving your stop loss to this high, it could come at the risk of being knocked out before continuing from like a sweep or a tap of the 3 minute order block. So just be aware of that if you want to give it some extra breathing room. Or if you want to be aggressive, you could be aggressive and put your stop loss there once we close below this wick. Because we had our proper 2 consecutive candle pullback here. So this is, once we get this unclaimed low, this will become the new strong high. Looks great. Next request was Solana. And I'll let you know if or when I evolve my stop loss, guys. It's still up here for now. Let's see. Solana. Let's see, what are you doing, man? Solana's another great asset to trade, by the way, guys. If you are looking to create a watch list of assets that you can depend on for market structure, if you're a market structure trader, yeah, you get great SFPs on Solana that usually play out towards their target. And then we have a great liquidity, so you don't have crazy price action, whipsaw events after a change of character. This would have been your moment right here. There could have been a better trade, of course, but this is the moment right here. You could have entered a short when we closed bearish. Stop loss above this high. Stop loss could have rotated to here, VWAP guard, after this really steep break of structure rejection. Now, right now, Solana is in a demand zone, an area where you should prepare for potential longs. Bitcoin is getting that break of structure, guys. Nice. Okay. We have the previous valley area. Okay, we're at a... I'm just squeezing this for a second here. So we hit a 252-day-old point of control on Solana. This is the entire range here. It's a very big structural range that we were ranging in for 252 days in the past. If we zoom out, you can see where it's coming from and why it's so important. Let's zoom out on the daily. So here is that range. And we just hit that range's point of control as resistance. Right here. And had a lot of influence over the price action in the past. Tons of reactions off of this level. So macro, it does look like it's trying to position itself for like a good inverse head and shoulders, and that this is the pullback to induce buy side liquidity above that point of control to then eventually drive the price and break through it. That's the more macro view I have of what just occurred, right? We broke that downtrending momentum. We're trying to flip bullish on the 6 hour. So far, we sweep the high instead. If we get that final close and we flip bullish on the higher time frames and we grab that buy side liquidity that was just induced from this pullback, then we get the inverse head and shoulders and drive it right back up to that valley area high at 170. But this is a big boss that we need to fight first. And then our next boss is this valley area low in confluence with this 6 hour order block kind of stacked on top of each other. But we got this little boss here to fight first before we need to worry about labeling that stuff. Or we could always label it now and not worry about it later. I got a lot of noise in my charts, guys. I'm sorry. I gotta clean stuff up. Bitcoin's looking great. All right. Until Bitcoin looks strong, I wouldn't really touch Solana. Unless you're, doing comp analysis against Bitcoin and Solana's looking stronger than Bitcoin at that time for relative strength. A really cool way to find out relative strength is not just by looking at the active price action, but also looking at like a Bitcoin to like Solana pair, for example. Yeah. So right now, I'd wait for proper pullback on Solana, lower low, bullish change of character, and then start going for that previous point of control again. Right? If we don't get that posture, then we're likely just going to see continuations. But this is the moment right here that we could prepare for those longs. And the next area of interest is down here at 133. We have an order block here. You could mark actually as well. We have liquidity from this low. We have liquidity from this low. We have the most liquidity here. So if you want the best reaction, you can be patient, sit on your hands for around 133. But yeah, again, like I said, this is the first spot you want to watch. We're likely going to pull back and retest this neckline. And then when we do that retest, we'll probably have our key level for the bullish change of character reaction to drive the price back up. So first test, likely going to be rejection. Bitcoin, all right. So, yeah, based on that close, I think I'm fine with moving my stop loss further down now. We got that break of structure. We got 10-minute order block. Yeah, looking good, man. All right. Just going to notify the community really quick that I'm making that change. 91.2. All right, we're doing above. And we're looking at 91. 206. Okay. Nice. Okay. Now let's do it for myself. All right. So it looks like I secured about a 1 to 2.3-ish so far. Let's see if we get to our target though. We're getting really close. How you guys doing in the chat here? Kyle, why are you always looking for a lower low before break a structure and not a lower high? Let me just wrap around my head what you just said there. Why are you looking for a lower low before? Okay, the reason why I want a lower low is for two reasons. A sweep of newly formed liquidity, right? So more likelihood of institutional participation. And the other reason is because of structural rules where the strong high or strong low evolves during that moment. So I'd rather have the lower low taken and then get the change of character, just because of that's how I back tested the clairvoyant strategy to know that it's successful. Is that very specific behavior, the change character, right? If you're going in just on a flip, I don't know the probability results on that. I should find that out. And a flip is basically just an ascending double bottom, right? So if we come down, get that ascending double bottom like this, and maybe, you do a fib pull from this low to this high, and it matches up with a golden pocket, stuff like that. Like that stuff, I understand, but that I don't know the probability of it giving you that full rotation to the value area high. I have no idea. But the other stuff I understand the probability of. Whenever I see like a flip or an ascending double bottom or ascending double top, you normally see the RSI or MFI or whatever oscillator you're using for your trades get overheated sooner rather than later. And then we end up, not getting as far up as we usually do. It's all situational, of course, but like for the daily time frame, I would much prefer us to take the low first, right? If we come down here and take 80,000 before going up any further, then our change of character level changes from way up here at 106K down to what's currently 93K. If we got that lower low first. Otherwise, in order for us to get swing trader participants like more actively involved, we have to wait for that to break. And that's like the I'd rather have a lower key level with confluence, because this will have confluence of the valley area low, and you'll get that acceptance. Then sit on our hands and wait all the way up here for the narrative to shift, because news follows the candles so much, guys. Especially if you're talking about like CoinDesk and stuff like that, they take market maker money for their news articles, and it's like $10,000, and you can get your post blasted everywhere. And it's all clickbait based on like the active price action. So they'll slap a bad news story on a red candle, they'll slap a good news story on the green candle. It's usually not fundamental news, but it's usually news that scare people out or get people in. All right. I see. Thank you. No problem, man. You could approach your levels any way you want, but yeah, that's the way I like to approach mine. As long as it makes you profitable. Thanks for the trade. No problem, man. You got a 1 to 3. Nice. Nice. You guys are a little tighter with your stop losses then. If I close now, I'll have a 1 to 3. Even with my half close being around like, I think I'm working 1.24, yeah. All right, this is our next level right here. These whenever you see strong buy shadow wicks like this, I'd always recommend marking the bottom of those wicks where liquidity is resting. You might see that kind of reaction occur again when we sweep and grab that liquidity. We're close. We're super close. This is our last little boss, though. At 90,400, then we're going down here. Now, break below this level can turn your scalp trade into a swing trade. If we broke this demand zone. I'm not very confident that we're going to break it, though. If you look at the other altcoins and stuff like that, and where how they're aligning with their key levels. Usually that kind of alignment, tells you a little bit of a hint of what could likely occur for Bitcoin as well, not just the altcoins. But they all talk to each other, right? If Bitcoin's pairing liquidity, it's going to have a huge influence over what happens to the other assets. So follow Bitcoin first. There we go, we're almost there. So we close below this, I think we're set. If we have a candle come down below it and close above it, then we'll have an SFP. And that SFP target would be this high right here. Yeah, it looks like we just barely tapped below the low, but I'm not seeing very much conviction behind it, so I don't trust it. But if we get like a local one, then I'll take it. I'll trust it. That's kind of reaction I want to see after a sweep. Let's see what happens. If we get a doji here and then a candle print below it, then we have a bearish order block. If we get a doji here and we get a candle print above it, then we have a bullish order block. That could be enough to just close the trade. So we got 2 minutes left on this 3-minute candle here. It's only a third through it. Let's see what happens. I'm not going to be greedy here. If we get a bullish order block, I'm just going to get out. Minute and 40 seconds. You guys have any plans for the weekend? Alex with crypto. Printing money. Yeah. Yeah. I'm printing money like Powell over here. We're just watching for a reactional exit right now. Are you wearing your wife's sweater? My wife has claimed all my sweaters, though, yet. This is one of the ones that she hasn't stolen from me yet. You better have hammered that trade. Yeah, I wouldn't say a perfect entry, but I waited for the 1 minute change of character up here, and I got in the moment we got the change of character. Stop loss above the external 3-minute high. And was very cautious around here, but we just busted right through it. Cautious here again when we tested the value area low. Never got the change of character warning, tell us to get out. We got evolving momentum. There's so many things saying hold your trade just a little bit longer. And now we might have another thing telling us right now to hold our trade just a little bit longer because we're not getting the sweep off of this low. We got 20 seconds left in the candle. If we close below this, then it's down here we go. I'm like, yeah. We get 2.5. Oh yeah, our 2.5 deviation multiplier is way down here. Our demand zone's down here. Our price value low is down here. All right, we closed below. Looking good. So we can delete that now. That's no longer helpful. It could be helpful actually. You could leave it there for seeing if price action retests that previous low. So it's just being mindful of where the price action was, and knowing how price action could behave is how that could be helpful. So we could hit our head here and come down. Facts. Every one of our sweaters are for our wives. Yeah. Yeah. Um, yeah, you ordered me a sweater, right? So that'll probably be only half mine. I have to share that with my wife too. Yeah, Alex got me an Otter Gang sweater for Christmas. It's on its way. Checking the mail every single day. Really close, guys. All right, and while we wait for this, I got another request to look at Zcash, so we can take a peek at that. We have a Zcash chart. I got Bitcoin open on my other monitor, so I'll let you guys know if anything sketchy happens. So CEC. Oh, Zcash. I like the posture of Zcash right now. This is the 1 hour time frame. Okay. We got our downtrending momentum here. We are at a value area low. We can adapt this pole to about here. Yep. We have a bit of double distribution inside of the value area. So 2 key areas of interest. Our strongest one is at 517.59. I know I just spoke about this with you now in the chat there. I would love to see, for any swing traders, like higher time frame traders, a lower low, an actual test to the 50-day EMA, because it looks like we have a bit of a front run here. If we test that, this will be our new key level, because right now it's right here, at least on the hourly. And if we take that out, flip bullish, then we can target the point control and hope for a continuation with a break of structure above it, and not like an opposing bearish change of character against it. Right? If you get something like that, you take some off the table. If you get something like this, it tells you to hold your trade. If we get that break of structure, I'd be mindful of these highs here. We had a order block here, but it was mitigated. This could have been a great retest entry. Zoom out on the 4 hour really quick. Okay. And your ultimate goal is to try to get to the full rotation to the value area high from that long. But there's going to be a little bit of barriers along the way that we don't have to get to the value area high. That's one thing that people kind of struggle with sometimes is when they hold their trades, sometimes they hold their trades too long and they kind of get married to their setup and they don't listen to the opposing reactions at key levels, telling them to get out. Like, you won't get rich off one trade. It takes some dozens, hundreds of smaller compounded trades. If you take like whatever your financial goal is and you break it down into pieces, you can find out exactly how many trades, what kind of win rate you're going to need in order to get to that financial goal. So I'd mark this right now. It's still, you could still have the ascending double bottom. Like, we're at the point of control now. So if we get that internal bullish change of character, you can start targeting the local highs in the hopes that it breaks for continuation up. We have a supply zone that started this pullback right here. Set it back. But yeah, ultimately, I'll be looking for a bullish reaction here within the golden pocket 786 or off of it. You'd likely have to use lower time frames like the 3 minute if you're doing something like that. We got the bullish SFP right here. We already hit. Okay, we already hit target, unfortunately. We could get another sweep and go for a second SFP and target this high in hopes that it breaks for a continuation. Ultimately, yeah, I prefer, especially if you want, bigger traders likely coming in, it's sweeping this low first and seeing if you get a bullish reaction off of that to front run the break of the change of character in the higher time frames up here. But yeah, I would be in bull mode for sure on Zcash, based on where we are and our positioning. Like, I'd love to see that break of the high, break of the downtrending momentum, target the value high, and get that rotation up. The percentage-based move is 36%, so be cautious. If we instead break the low, we have a massive double top here. If we break the low, use it as resistance, lose the 50-day EMA. You can target, the technical target is at like 245. We do have some really good, barriers that prevent us from going down there. But, we have the value area high here of this range. And we have some demand here and here. But that's worst case scenario. I'm optimistic. I'm hopeful that we get that bullish change of character here for you. I hope that helps you out. But that's what I'll be planning for right now with Zcash. Alright, let's move this little guy to the right because now it's in our face. Not a proper pullback here. So we can't evolve our stop loss just yet. I'll let you know when it's coming. It takes forever to Canada. Oh, I gotcha. Well, Canada has those tariffs now for anything that's like below, I think it was below $500 or something like that. I don't remember the price point. So I'm not sure how that impacts you with your merch stuff, man. XRP analysis? Yeah, we can do that. We can take a look at XRP. Bitcoin's being slow right now. It's kind of looks like it's trying to form that rounded bottom, kind of like curve, meaning like buyers' confidence is slowly coming back. But XRP. Yeah, XRP is a good one to have a dual chart with to watch Bitcoin. That's why I got that set up this way here. Okay, so we had... Oh, okay. I hate it when that happens. See, this is the stuff that I don't want to have happen. Because I don't... Like, I'd rather the high being taken. And then close below here. So you can have that change of character instead of the flip, right? The front run to the change of character. Because now our key level for the change of character on XRP in the 3 minute was way down here. Right? And you don't want to wait that long or give up this much, right? And then, yeah, it's messy. It doesn't mean it's not a good trade, though. Like, when we break this level, we can see we have a bit of a pullback prior to the break, right? Kind of sweeped it first, then got the close. So at that point, you could use this as your stop loss if you want to. Obviously, the strong high would have been a better call for your stop loss, but that's so far away that your R&R would be terrible right now. We are at a local key level based on the range-bound price action, so we can pull a fixed range volume profile from here to here. You see that we're slightly deviated below the value area low. Let's zoom out though on bigger picture stuff first. We got a V-shaped recovery. This was a level that we were concerned about before. We end up using it as support. No opposing bearish change of characters at all. Just a regression trend of pure awkwardness I am starting to hate these like so much. Any like ascending regression trends after like a key level break, I always think that they're kind of annoying. Yeah, we broke down trading momentum. Nice. Okay. Let's delete some of this noise. This is old trade stuff. Doji whip. Okay. So let's check the 4 hour then, since I saw that doji. Yeah. So if we lose this valley area, we get a close below this wick. Or on the lower time frames, we see a retest of the value area low, get the break of structure. Then we could be coming down to $2.07. But before thinking bearish like that, we are currently at like the range bound low where you'd prepare for bullish reactions in the lower time frames, prepare for longs again. Like based on the tweezer reaction in the higher time frames, I'm not very confident. We still have 2 hours left on that candle though, so this isn't confirmed as like a tweezer reaction or engulfing one. The momentum's pretty steep. We don't have any proper pullbacks at all in the 5 minute, so you're forced into the 3 minute. And our 3 minute key level is way up here at $2.19. So we need to have a proper consecutive pullback. And if there's going to be a moment for that, it would be when we're below the value area low. Maybe hit our head off the value area low, get a lower low, and then get us that change of character reaction. And then start targeting the value area high again, while being mindful of the supply that we just created at this point of control. That could induce a rejection. Especially if the VWAP catches up and gets inside that supply zone. Then we can hit our head off of that. It'd still be a good trade either way, even if we don't get that full rotation to the value area high. We could have the proper R&R on a move from here to here and just get in and out quick. So if we don't get the bullish reaction here and we end up using the value area low as resistance and get lower lows, then I'm thinking that this is where we're headed next, 207. Make this long. There we go. That's XRP. Bitcoin got a good candle here. Creating a bullish order block in a moment, depending on how this candle closes. As long as the close is above this wick. We do have a proper pullback too. So if we get that lower low, then we have a good chalk level. That orange dotted line that we have on our chart is that previous low, so we could see a rejection off of this too. If we get a close above it, then I'm going to be likely closing down another 50% of my trade, bring me down to only 25% left of my account. Six, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Just watching for this reaction. Bounce off this. Yeah, I'm gonna close half. I'm gonna close half of my trade. The rest of it. So I have 25% left in. Just so a quick overview of where I closed some of my trades here. I gotta notify the community really quick. right? And the Otter Gang. There we go. Must have the visual. Okay. We got the chat here. Alexo, what's up, man? Hey, Kyle, what is your risk management when you compound your account for 27 million? So early game, my risk management was still pretty high risk. Like I was risking to lose more than 1%. But yeah, it was compounding. I was mostly around when my account got to around $1,000, that's when I started being more formal with my risk management, risking to lose like 1% or $10 to gain $20 or more. So it was a lot more formal around like $1,000. But before that, it was less consistent. I was risking to lose like 5%, 3%, sometimes 10%, depending on my confidence. And I understand dynamic risk management. There's nothing wrong with dynamic risk management to an extent. Like you still want to be consistent even though you're being dynamic. And dynamic risk management basically means like if you have a grading system for your setups, like A plus setup or B setup or C setup, if you have like, let's say all of your confluences met, you can consider that like an A plus setup and risk to lose 3% rather than 1, right? I was kind of like that before 1,000, but mostly based on my emotions. So it's my dynamic risk was based on emotion, but I got better. So now I'm doing it properly. But yeah, around $1,000. That's when I was consistent. Risk to lose 1% to gain 2% or more. I trade valley areas a lot. My favorite structure was double bottoms because there's very long bias back then. Now it's like whatever I get, I'll take as long as it's safe. But yeah, I hope that helps you out. But basically, yeah, be as consistent as you possibly can with your losses, and your wins will outweigh them. So long, of course, you have the proper risk to win rate as well. Like you could have your risk management down, but not your win rate down. Risk management is something that you should, master first. Get a good understanding of that first with paper trading, and then strategy is obviously your ultimate layer after that. Because if you have your risk management down, then you can at least copy trade people, like find out other people's reasoning for entering a trade and follow along. So long as you know what you're doing for your exit plan. But yeah, did you sell seed phrases through? No, don't sell seed phrases, guys. Is that a new thing? I don't like that. I don't like that at all. That could be an easy way to get scammed. And two different sides, both sides, the buyer side and the seller side, can get scammed easily. Okay, thanks for that. No problem. This was a good trade. Covered my fee for the month membership. Nice. Less than 1 hour after joining. Right on. That's cool. Is that a new scam? It does look like a new scam. I'm gonna just delete that post. Sorry, Kendall. I'm not sure if it's legit or not, but I don't trust. Not unless I do my research on it. I don't trust it even be in the comments. Why don't I have a wrench? Yeah. We're starting to breach momentum. The evolving momentum here. So I'm kind of getting, yeah, I'm happy about my 50% close there. I closed 50% here when we tested the momentum. I mean the value area low. And I closed 50% here. So I have 25% left. If we get that one last lower low push, I might just close it around here, the rest of it. Or you can leave the remaining 25% for strong highs in hopes that you have continuations. The cool way to hold your trade is just monitor the strong highs. Every time you create a new one and have a decent distance away from it, it's your new stop loss. Okay. I gotta readjust my stop loss volume really quick here. Sometimes I just don't trust it when it shows me the same amount of volume in the stop loss order when I've taken some off the table. There we go. So I had situations before with previous exchanges where it would put me into a new trade because the value of my stop loss volume was heavier than the remaining amount of the position. So it just put me into a new trade. There's like weird exchanges like that. I'm not saying Blowfin's one of them, but I got kind of PTSD from it. Yeah, I'm thinking about closing it all. Just be out of it. Alright guys, I've got to head out. I got to work on a couple things for the community. Been lurking. Kendall is a sham ban. Okay, we'll ban him. Just to be safe. Alright, thanks for that. Alright, cool guys. You have yourself an amazing day. I'm going to head out. Congratulations on anyone who followed this short setup. Now it's about sitting our hands and waiting for the long now. We're getting close to the key level that I'm waiting for right here. We might have a bit of a front run to it after taking liquidity from this low. Right now we're getting that pullback. We have the valley area low as a guard. We have this 3-minute order block, 10-minute order block as a guard to our stop loss. But if we get stopped out, then we kind of have our answer too for remaining 25% there. Or you can just close the full trade and just be happy with the gains that you got because this was honestly a good setup. And if we get that bullish change of character reaction, I'll let you know if I jump in on the long. We're getting close to the weekend. Sometimes that means weekend volume. And this is a holiday weekend. So normally, depressing volume on holiday weekends. We just consolidate in a tight range. If you need help with anything, reach out to me in the Discord. We still have our promotion going on. If you use the Black Friday coupon, you get 50% off for life. Yeah, hope to see you guys in there and join our calls. You can ask any questions you like during our calls. We share our screen. We jump in trades together. All that fun stuff. All right, cool, guys. You have a great day. And congratulations to the winner of the $6,000 account. And I'll see you guys on Monday. And we have a coaching call. We have David's call today. All right, cool. And see you guys. Have a great day. No problem, Noah.